Hi, welcome everyone. James, hi. I keep seeing your face. Nice to see you. Can you say some words so I can test the sound in here?
Can you hear me? Check.
Yeah, loud and clear. You're an echo in a chamber.
Awesome.
Welcome to reality. Thanks. Hi, thanks, Kelly. Hi, Nino. Hi, Sam. Daniel, what's the time in Europe where you're at? Oh, 6 a.m.? No. 1 a.m.
1:30.
Oh, that was 30?
1.5.
That was weird. 1.5 of the hands. Okay, good. Welcome. Nice to Aaron, hi. Hi, Susan. Alyssa, welcome. Nice to see you. Hi, Jessica. Oh, Lily and Anthony, nice to see you. And then the room is filling up. That's why I'm saying all your names until the room settles. I won't start, but Lily, you're next to Lily on my screen. So 2 lilies waving at each other. Yeah, there we go. Sarah, nice to see you. Just if you're in person, welcome. I'll do a quick intro. How are you? Nice to see you. Hello. Nice to see you again. And I think I'm going to cry today for lots of good reasons. Let me see what I prepared earlier. I made some notes. It looks like when I teach these Dharma classes, the notes make a difference. Hi, Sodi, welcome. There, yeah, good. And everyone say thank you to Rachel, who's running the space. Thank you. And Spiro, who's running this space. Thank you. Good. Okay, so if this is your first time, you've entered virtually or in person at a place called 3 Jewels. 3 Jewels has been around for 20 something, 1996 till now is a lot of years, 24 years, is that right? 25, thanks for the maths. 25 years. And it's founded as a Tibetan Buddhist sort of modern center where we teach Eastern philosophy, Tibetan Buddhist, the same literature that the Dalai Lama. We're a non-profit, so we like to think of ourselves as a little bit of a Robin Hood. So if you're paying for memberships at 3 Jewels, thank you, because then we get to use all that cash and give it away to people that might not be able to afford it or would never walk into here because the place doesn't look affordable or whatever. So we go and teach in communities who normally wouldn't have access to. We go and teach at other non-profits. And so our aim is not to make a profit, which is weird in today's day and age, but to, pay the rent in New York City and have a space that feels stunning. Hello. That feels stunning, and I hope that you felt that stunningness here. It's built and run by volunteers, and it's been like that for 25 years. So it's a Tibetan Buddhist philosophy center. We teach yoga, meditation, Buddhist philosophy that we teach on Thursdays and on Tuesdays. And that's really the center of everything we teach here. What is this idea? The idea of Buddhist Buddhism, to wake up to Buddha. Yeah, and how do we take that from a philosophical or religious looking practice into everyday to make it meaningful, to actually experience a shift in ourselves? And that's why we exist. And then we do that 4th thing, so yoga, meditation, Buddhist philosophy. And the thing that covers all those things is giving it away. Community outreach programs. We go to homeless shelters, we go to transitional housing, we go places that people wouldn't ever think of going to a meditation class unless we went to them. And that's some of the most rewarding work we do. Told you I was going to cry, I'm a softie. And tonight I want to have a special welcome to some friends who I haven't seen in like more than 9 years. So we have Gabriel here, who's an archangel, architect. I met him over 9 years ago. And another angel, Dulce. We all know how much I like Dulce de Leche. Well, she's like Dulce de Dulce. Also been a long time, and powerful people and practitioners in their own right. And then Emily, I don't know if anyone, Emily has been around Three Jewels for almost a long time. I haven't seen you for a long time. It's a real blessing to have you. So those of you thanks, John Chris. I feel like I'm surrounded by the results of really good practice. And it might not mean anything to other people, but hopefully I get to talk about why one would have a stunningly heart-opening experience seeing people you haven't seen for a long time and getting to teach Buddhist philosophy, because the practice results in this kind of visceral experiences of a world that might just be normal for everyone else, and we go through life normal. We have certain biases about what the world is and what it's not, and what it should be and what it can't be. And then these practices are really supposed to hack, like a computer hacker, hack the program. And doing these practices feels like hacking sometimes. And I want to talk about one of these main practices, which is a practice that covers nearly everything else in Buddhist thought. And because it's Giving Tuesday and everyone's saying, give me your money, we thought we at Three Jewels, we should give you the practice of the perfection of giving, which is a big thing in Buddhist thought. And so I want to talk a little bit about this practice of giving, of generosity, of what is it for? How does it work? Why would you even bother thinking about it? Yeah. And I want to talk a little bit about that. Again, you're at Three Jewels. My name is Hector, for those of you that I haven't said. I'm fortunate enough to be the director, president of the board of Three Jewels, which just means I get to enjoy hanging out with a bunch of friends who create a space and create programming for people to learn and practice together. Yeah, so you're sitting in a space that was painted and constructed by volunteers. Sorry, I'm getting hot and bothered, and I'm removing the hot and botheredness. And so I want to talk about giving. And I'm like, what should I say? Because I could do the traditional Buddhist talk on giving, and I'll probably do that for the first half to give us context. But I want to invite you to think about this word, giving, generosity. Why is it a thing? Hopefully in a different way by the time you leave. I want to give you a little bit about the Buddhist background and concept, and then I want to share what it's like to actually practice it, and how one should practice if you're expecting for it to do some work on you. So the first thing I thought of was like, what do I say to them? And this morning when I was reading a book called the Bodhisattva Charyavatara, the Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life, which means how do you become a peaceful warrior? What do we call it in the class on Thursdays? Warrior saint. How do you become a warrior saint, right? Meaning, can you shift your bias from normal to extraordinary in this very world? And what would the things need to be to cause that in your experience of this very world not appearing normal anymore? Yeah. What is it that you need to do that? And in that book, written about 700 AD, we're teaching a course on it on Thursdays. The last chapter is this long-winded dedication of some of the most exquisite Buddhist language, and it's all around perfecting giving. Yeah, they call it the perfection of giving. And I was reading it, and one of the first verses in that chapter was saying, by the author, Master Shantideva, he's like, I just did a shit ton of work. I wrote the most extraordinary summary of all Buddhist practices. Like, this thing is amazing. It's the most incredible thing. What a goodness I just did to put down on paper a guide on getting enlightened. And then that last chapter is like, I got to give it all away right now. All that effort, all this power, all the work that I've poured into this thing, all the blood, sweat, and tear that I've put into this powerful thing that hopefully will liberate minds, I shouldn't keep it. I should give it away. And so he begins by thinking anyone that's in pain, any single living creature in sickness or in pain, physically or mentally, may the goodness that I just did, may all the imprints that I just put in my mind, may all this goodness instantly be transferred to you, to all of you. Now, like through some magic, please let every good cause that I've just created land on the deaf and the sick and the blind and the lonely and then he starts getting poetic and says, may I become a bridge, may people just walk on me to reach their liberation. Like, it's stunning. May goodness rain upon them like the snow this morning rained upon us. And so in that very book, giving is just one of 6 practices that Master Shantideva and Buddhists believe will get you to Buddha, to wake up, to awaken from a sleep, from the illusion of the way things seem to appear to us. The normal way of doing things has a certain bias. We're born with certain biases as living creatures on this planet. And that bias is mostly take. I want something, I'm gonna take it. I've got to think of me. Like, whose hair do you brush every morning? Like, do any of you thinking of brushing my hair? No. When you're brushing your hair, are any of you thinking that I've got no hair? No. Like, we're mostly obsessed with this entity that we think is us. Yeah, and that bias creates certain results in this whole system of being. And Master Shantideva is like, if you want to hack happiness, like the unhappiness that you get out of a life that will end, the loneliness that comes when partners die, break up, if you want to hack the things that we just assume is normal, you have to hack the biases we're born with. And one of the biases is me, take. And so in the commentaries on him, on that book, you really come to realize there's 2 kinds of people in this world. Those that predominantly are obsessed with, I need to get satisfied. I need to shield myself, and that will yield certain results. I need to take, compete. We've built economic systems on that, right? Make them fight, compete with each other. Right? Take. If you want something that he has, then we're like, how do I get it? Right? And you're going to get this same normal existence that we constantly have here. Master Shantideva says, there's a bunch of people walking around, and it's not that it's a bad thing, it'll lead to results equal to the cause. Take. The result would be you get lack. Is that, if that's a thing, lack. Like a duck. No. Cause and effect, equal and opposite reaction. And this is, for those of you who have come to previous classes, the essence of Buddhist thought is, why do things function so? Because of cause and effect. And in Buddhism, that means karma. Specifically, the cause and effect of the way we are forced to experience reality. Because reality, you can't find a nature in being a specific way. It's always up to the experiencer to experience the world a certain way. Karma and emptiness. You've probably heard me say that 1,000 times. On that premise, we should practice something to hack away at the suffering that this regular, unexamined life creates. And so one of those practices is giving. So if there are a bunch of people walking around, rightly so, not just people, animals and the rest going, I want this, I take it, I want this, I take it. My stomach hurts, I'm not even thinking of your stomach. Right? It's a bias we have just by being in this form. And wake-uppists say, and particularly Master Shantideva, is like, consider this. What if the opposite of taking would give you different results. But first you have to hack the program that says take, 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 which is, according to Buddhist thought, the only way you're going to have things disappear from you is by taking, taking, taking. It creates lack, lack, lack. The perception of taking other people's things, of taking things for yourself alone, creates the imprint which forces us to see everything we have be taken away, everyone else wanting what we want. And it becomes this vicious cycle. Don't want what I want, now I want what you want. And then that creates unhappiness when we see someone getting something that they like. Jealousy. Like, damn, why do you always look so fly? Why do you always look that? Like, my first thought about Sodi, when I see his glasses, is like, my glasses don't look that cool. Honestly, it is, yeah? It's not the first thought, but it's one of the thoughts in there. It's one of the top thoughts. But it's a stupid bias, right? If I am unexamined, if I am unaware, if I'm walking around going, instead of going, you look so amazing every time, I am genuinely happy for you to be so cool, rather than, why can't I be cool? You see the difference? It will create a very different internal state of being. And then we habituate that state of being and we become it. Now I'm not happy you're wearing that yellow thing because yellow would look really good on me, and I tried to wear yellow but I didn't get the right yellow, and so I can be jealous of your yellow. Yeah? Taking. And so it's not about like stealing. That's like an obvious thing. We're talking about the mental habit of constantly craving other things for you and then being unhappy when others get their thing. That's going to have certain results in your state of being. And to shift that, to get a different result, there's 1,000 different practices. But why giving? Why giving? And if you think of cause and effect never failing, your whole internal structure of being, your whole identifying thing, can you hack first of all the taking, and then habituate the opposite, which is giving, a genuine, eventually uncontrived state of, damn Sodi, you look amazing. I hope you feel like I would feel if I looked that fly. Everybody meet my friend Sodi. Isn't he amazing? And genuinely have this giving experience in my heart that I want everyone to have what he has. And that yellow sweatshirt or whatever it is that I'm not really jealous about, but I'm pretending to be. Right? I've got my own yellow. No. It's fine. For those of you that are watching, it's Courtney. For those of you that know Courtney. Courtney's wearing this awesome yellow sweater. Yeah. What's it called? Sweatshirt. Yeah. Bloody Americans. Jumper. No. In Australian. Yeah. Check it out. Isn't that just the best mustard color? Right? And then just, can your heart be warm rather than your heart be cold? And for most of us, we walk around not even thinking at that depth of every movement of our mind is creating our future reality. And if we could, through Master Shantideva's book of the 6 perfections, the 6, am I supposed to finish? No. There was a ding somewhere. Did you all hear that, or was it just me? Sorry, there was a big ding here. I don't know if there was a ding there.
Sounds like inside timer.
Yeah, inside timer, yeah. Someone's like, get on with it, Hector. Shut up now. So play with the idea that we are blind to the way we are, because that's the way we are. We're unconsciously unknowing. We don't know that we don't know that we're mostly taking. Like everything we do, like how much energy do you put into your body? Exercising it, feeding it, washing it. How much time do you spend on other people's body? And I don't mean coveting, sexy time imagining. I don't mean that part. Like, I mean really making sure other bodies are healthy and taken care of. And there's 7 billion other human bodies. What about all the animal bodies? But mine's important because that's the one I am. That's the one I am. Well, that'll give you some results. Me. Taking. And it's a huge challenge. It sounds like a simple word, right? Giving. What, you want my money now? That's not even it. It's this whole attitude. Can you shift the frame through which you experience this vast reality? Reality has, like in one of the classes I shared the tiny percentage of visual data we're able to perceive, let alone experience, right? Was 0.0035% of the light spectrum we can access through the human eye. And we think that 0.0035% of visual stuff is everything that can be seen. We think that. We think there's nothing more here than what we're capable of visualizing. There's whatever the opposite of 0.0035% is, which must be 9.98 something, yeah, percent. That is pregnant with possibility all around us all the time if we just had a different eye. And on top of that, you've got the box of perception that assumes and behaves as if that's all of reality. You're not just this. This has been built, according to Buddhist thought, by the taking, me. So how do you hack that? Giving. And for the Buddhist nerds, if you're interested, the perfections that Master Shantideva is talking about, one of the practices, the lead practice, like you'll hear sutras and commentaries, words of the Buddha and those that explain it, talk about, you should practice the perfection of giving, or the acts of giving and the like. You should do the giving and the like. And the like refers to the other 5 of the 6 practices that are tied together with giving, which are the 6 perfections. Those perfections are not actual things you perfect. They're the things that by practicing, you perfect yourself. So they're more accurate term my teacher likes to say is the 6 perfectionizers. How to transform your own mind, how to hack the biases of taking, for example. Well, it would be giving. And the 6 perfections are giving, generosity. And it means, can you create an unconscious bias to give? Because the other half of the world, most of us are walking around going me. And some of us have tiny impulses of genuinely thinking about others. Like genuinely thinking, And then out of that tiny percentage, which is mostly about thinking about others that we are interested in, like my family or people I like, right? Out of that percentage, there's those that can actually do something about it. So for example, I've been thinking about Gabriel for a while. Did I pick up the phone and call him? No. He ended up coming here, and now I'm like, damn, I should have done something. So yes, I was thinking about others, but did I activate that into something that's material that makes a difference? No, he did it first. He won Buddhism. Yeah. Thanks. Cheers. Yeah. Competing. So giving is one of the practices. Ethics, basically it means do unto others. Like don't behave through body, speech or mind in a way that you wouldn't want anyone to behave towards you. And that's the essence of ethics, the ethical code. Why is that important? Because it's linked to the frames of reality we're building in our identity, the boxes we're creating for ourselves. Patience is the third one, which mainly means don't get angry when you should. Meaning you have every right to be upset. Don't. Because what's upsetness going to give you? It'll burn more bridges and it'll begin to crumble away any goodness you have in your mind. So practice not getting angry when you should. It's a shit practice. Like it'd be really nice just to burn things all the time. But burning things all the time will have consequences in your mind and in your reality. So don't. That's what Master Shantideva. That's a hard practice. Start with giving. And then he's like, you can get all, Master Shantideva, right? He's like, you can get all tripped up on all these practices that you're using to hack at your biases of thinking this world is normal. Remember, there's 99.99865, of the world you're yet to have an experience of, at least visually, audibly more, and so on. If you want access to a world other than the little box that you're having here, if you want a Buddha from that illusion to seeing more of it, do these practices: giving, ethics, act in a way you really want to be acted towards. That's hard. Don't get angry when you should. Oh, fuck that. Like I'm angry at that one. No. The fourth one is joyful effort. Meaning, can you really enjoy making these efforts, these practices, doing good things? Can it light your heart on fire? Can you just enjoy being kind? Can you enjoy letting something that you would have otherwise been angry about? I didn't get angry back. I know I should have, but I just saved the world from one tiny instance of war, at least in my mind. I did good. I did really good. That was good. I saved a fight. Even if it was just mentally. Can you enjoy that? Then the last two are the perfection of concentration. Can you learn to tame this mind of ours through meditating, so you can get insight into the other part of the world we can't see, or the experiences that are available to us, but we're locked out of because we have the taking bias, the me bias. That's what Buddhism is about, wake up-ism. There's another way of being, but it takes discipline. And it's not discipline like, oh, I must meditate. It's this discipline of looking at the right place that is so slippery, it's like a soap in a gay shower. Yeah. Yes, Buddhists can make stupid jokes too. Some people are trying to imagine what that would be like. I can see some faces. What's soap doing in a gay shower? Someone just got it. Yeah. So can you buy into the premise that behaving in a different way will give you a different result? Now, 2,500 years of Buddhists thinking about this, for those Buddhist nerds that are really want to know the detail, these 6 perfections actually create your experience of yourself as Buddha, like a wake-up-er, a Buddha yourself. The 2 bodies of a Buddha, which is the physical and mental bodies of a Buddha, the 2 parts that make a being perceive themselves no longer as, and everything else, no longer as just normal, but more accessing that 99.998% of reality, that your mind is capable of that if you practice certain things to access that. So Buddhists believe that these 6 perfections are one way to access a self-perception of, wow, the world is more than I experience. And so when you see people in the street, you're not just thinking there's a normal person, and there's a normal person, there's a shitty person. That might be your experience of normal, but internally you're turning and twisting that reality for its possibilities. And one of the things you should do is practice giving. The more you give, the more you experience that person as different, having more, sharing some insight or knowledge towards you because you've been actively giving. I don't know if that makes sense. Practicing giving, the impulse, the habit of mind to wish others had everything they needed will force your mind to perceive everyone you encounter as giving you everything you need. Does that work? Walking around the planet, even just mentally, wishing everyone had everything they needed is creating an imprint in your mind, which must eventually have a result where you will be forced to experience the next person walking down the street as giving you everything you need. And they don't have to say anything. It might just be a look. It might be a visit to 3 Jewels after many years. And then this practice sort of rains on you and you can't stop it. There's no umbrella for the goodness that you've planted in your own mind, wishing everyone have everything they need. You can't escape it, just like you can't escape the consequences of a taking mentality. And then when you see it, oh my goodness, it's like an upward spiral. You can't help but want to give that away. Oh, I wish everyone had that. And then it keeps raining on you and you want to give that away. And it's this stunning cycle. It's a different way of framing who you are. And I think, you know, when I was young, which is a long time ago, you didn't have to laugh at that. No. That wasn't a joke. It was. When I was younger, I remember one of the most, besides the speech, "I Have a Dream," by Martin Luther King, the other one that stuck in my mind as a meaningful thing to say is JFK. Think not what your country can do for you, but I think it's what you can do for your country. And he's asking an entire country to stop taking and to give. That was it. What the hell was that? I think that was an engaging, meaningful thing. It reaches at the heart of something. And I don't pretend to know the perfection of giving really well. I mean, technically, giving, this attitude of giving, which is you practicing something that doesn't come naturally, mostly, includes 4 things. Giving physical, material things. People need a sandwich, give them a sandwich. People need money, give them money, you know? And already you can feel, right? Money? A sandwich? No. You can probably go, yes, a sandwich. But money, things, you know, like we can feel that, but they're mine, and then I won't have any if I give it. That's one of the first barriers, right? So there's a practice to give material things, to train yourself, to stretch yourself, to give what you can. And Master Shantideva in this text says something like, start with carrots and potatoes, I think he says, right? With things that you don't think too much of. Like, sure, you could eat another carrot or potato. Oh, onions and potatoes? Carrots. Okay, and potatoes. I don't know. So you could do that. You could give a potato. Maybe you can give 2 potatoes. And then, personally, once I got the hang of this practice, you want to practice that giving of material things in a way that makes you you want to bring up this defense system that's like, yeah, but it's mine. And as soon as you have that, yeah, but it's mine, I train myself to give it away with joy. I'm like, no, I'm hacking the taking mentality. Think not what they can do for you, but think what you can do for them. Do you really need it? So much more, you know? And if I had attachment to it, I'd practice giving it away. And they say, don't give it away if you're going to regret it later. So that's a nice little self-restraint. But if you're getting fed up with life not delivering the goodness that we think life can give us, I challenge you, practice giving away the things that are precious to you. Yeah, money's precious. Your time's precious. Some of your possessions are precious. So the more I got proficient with the little givings, the more I eventually had to stretch and give things that were meaningful to me. Because the practice, you can easily bring the bias of taking to this practice, right? And like, I'm such a good giver. I am so special for giving. I am a giver. You know, like, it's the wrong message. It's not about you. It's genuinely, secretly, can you just make sure others have what they want? This can be a very personal practice at work. I had a, anyway, and so material things. And can they mean something to you? And can you enjoy detaching and enjoy someone else revel in the joy of that thing that will be taken away from you anyway when you die? You're not keeping it. You only got this tiny precious time of this human form and this mental capacity to do some good in the world. This is the time. Oh, I'm attached to this thing. Anyone want an iPhone? Not too bad. I'm not that good yet. But you know what I mean? Like, you only have this precious time. Can you give to your capacity, not for anything else, but to stretch your bias from a taking to a giving mindset and see what results from it? If the theories are right, the giving and the rest, which is the other perfections, will produce in you the physical body and things in your enlightened form and realm, and the mental things in your enlightened form and realm. When you reach Buddhahood, when you reach enlightenment, when you experience yourself as transcending suffering, which is the name of the game, it will only have been through the perfection of giving to others everything they want. And then you'll be forced to experience everything constantly coming at you that is more than bliss. And because you've tied in joyful effort, and because you want to give that away, it just becomes this never-ending upward spiral of experience. And you'll get glimpses of it in the perfection of giving through the practice of giving material things. I'm thinking how inappropriate I can be by being really personal. I'm not prescribing this behavior, because you're all going to have to figure out your own way of stretching your giving. I'll tell you a story. I had a partner once. It was a girl, for those of you who are shocked. Yeah. But no, that's not the story. Let me tell you a different story. I'm trying to be PC-ish. Yeah. And I have a Buddhist tradition to uphold. I had a partner. His name was John. Okay, and there was this girl. Her name was Sarah, and the three of us were inseparable, like dancing. Like last night, I went to a concert thanks to my partner Stephen. Went to LCD Sound Systems, and it was sick. Yeah, not by myself, right? Yeah. You were there. It's so good. But we never saw each other. Right there. Where were you?
Right at the front.
Right at the front?
Yeah, sorry, my throat's...
Me too. I was screaming last night a lot. Yeah. Good. Anyway, it was a sick concert. Yeah. But I digress. We used to party a lot, John, Sarah, and I. Lots of concerts and lots of things. And I saw that they were looking at each other in more than friends, more than once. Like most nights, they were like, hey, but I was living with John, right? And they were like, yeah. Someone knows, Dulce knows, And so I had a frank conversation with John. Not Frank the person. Sorry, another joke. Someone's following. Okay, someone's like, did I check in the right Buddhist place? Yeah. And so I had this honest conversation. I also had seen The Big Chill, and for those of you that know that movie, that inspired me on the perfection of giving. I'm like, if I love John and I want his happiness, and he appears to be wanting that as a happiness, can I stretch my capacity without jealousy, without bias, to let him enjoy what he wants. And Sarah too, I love Sarah. Why can't she have that? So I sat down with them and I talked about it. It was the first time. I was radical in my mind. I'm like, I can't believe I'm doing this. Yeah? Genuinely from my heart. If you want to know the scene in The Big Chill, you'll find it when the kind of experience I was trying to generate. And genuinely, and they said, yeah, we said, I felt this too. Yeah, I felt this too. And I'm like, listen, and we're at our house. I'll sleep on the couch tonight. And are you sure? We were a little tipsy, yeah, before Buddhist vows. Yeah. And so they went into the bedroom that night and they slept in my bed with each other. I guess there wasn't anyone else in there. No, I was going to say in my bed. Yeah, it was in our bed. And I slept, well, not very much, but I stayed up on the couch looking at the ceiling, a little proud of myself, like, I can't believe I'm doing this, right? And genuinely, I was able to maintain the entire night an uncontrived joy that they may be happy. I'm not saying you should all do that with your partners, okay? That's not what I'm saying. But can you train your mind in this tiny portal of time that we have as human beings, that we found this fortune and this goodness? Can you train your mind to stretch beyond the limits of normal so you can have an experience beyond normal? Basically, it comes down to that. So I would categorize that as giving material things. Here's John. Really inappropriate to say that. And I felt so good that they got to test out this theory together. It didn't work for them. They told me they couldn't make it work. Like, John was pretty gay. I'm like, okay, whatever, you know. But they tried. They must have cuddled, and it must have been sweet to be able to do it without guilt or whatever, you know. Not that I gave them permission, but we agreed, the three of us, and it felt awesome for me. I was a little happy when they said that nothing happened, I have to admit. But I was more happy that I made it work in my mind, that I genuinely understood that to love someone is to want their happiness. And so to what end would you give someone your happiness? And Master Shantideva says, don't do it to a point that it hurts you. That's not the game here. Because we also have that misunderstanding in Western thought. You become a victim of giving, you know, and now I've got nothing, and that's bullshit. That's not it. That's not the game. So there's that, the perfection of giving material things, which I don't think this is one of those, right? There's the perfection of giving protection from fear. Like if someone's genuinely frightened and something's genuinely hurting, then can you enact a state of mind that wishes you could take away their pain, or that you could protect them from that pain? There's the perfection of giving love, which I would characterize in the John and Sarah example, where you just uncontrivedly, indiscriminately love every single living thing. And there are meditations that help you develop that hack. And I keep saying hack because I want you to understand our minds are programmed to see the world in a certain way, and the world is not that way. That's what we're waking up from. And these practices should feel like they're stretching you. It is a hack. It feels kind of forceful to the program. The program isn't who you are. The program is what you program. The practice is hacking and reprogramming. Hacking and reprogramming. You stretch each of these practices until you can't help but get the results of your program. The problem with these imprints is that they take time. Does that make sense? Yeah. And that's why you need meditation, the concentration, and then the wisdom that understands how that works, which is karma and emptiness, karma and emptiness. Because then that will let you give in a different way and have ethics in a different way. And it's a it's an upward spiral cycle rather than a me cycle. And then the last one is giving Dharma, right? Out of the 4 types of giving, physical, giving protection, giving love, the 4th one is giving Dharma, meaning the highest wisdom your mind can reach. Can you give it away? Your best understanding of reality, can you give it away to other minds to unhack themselves? Giving insight. To whatever level insight you can. If you've got a 3-year-old kid, you give them insight for a 3-year-old kid. So they understand how to navigate the troubles and tribulations of the life they're about to live. And can you hack the normal by going at the source of the code, the program of the program? And that's why Buddhists are all nerdy about their books. They're like, oh, what's the ultimate nature of reality? What if we didn't have a 0.0035 bias? What would this consciousness be able to experience in this realm that I'm boxed into this human condition? Can this consciousness have some other experience in this life? Can this very thing transform? Yeah. And Buddhists are like, dude, it's transforming all the time. You just think you're the same person. Look at your bodies right now. Rewind 15 years. Some of you are like, I disappeared. Me, I'm like, yeah, that was yesterday. Can you take personal responsibility for the projection of reality that you're forced to have through your programming? Can you choose your program? And perfection of giving is a fast track to doing that, because if you get this, hopefully you get the essence of this perfection of giving. Me. I want to be happy. Yeah, I want to be happy. What is an unconscious, unquestioned, biased way of doing that? I want to be happy. I want to go to another concert. So now I become obsessed. That was a really happy concert, right? Let's go to concert. My thinking is, how do I get a ticket for me? And that's going to have consequences. Me consequences. Buddhists would say, if you loved it so much, why don't you find other people that want that concert and think of letting them go? You've been already, Hector. See a difference in thinking. So how can I hack the thing that is that I'm blind to most of the time? And then if I really like that concert and now I know someone else I can take to the concert, is there another person that can go to the concert? And can my mind, even if I can't buy tickets for everyone, can I at least visualize the possibility that everyone find their concert? That everyone find their thing. And then the more I habituate that in my mind, at least in meditation, mentally first, verbally second, in actions third, if I can do any one of those things, and those things imprint my new program, then next time I see you, I'm going to be like, oh, there's happiness to be had there. I'm not creating it, it's just forced upon me, because my biases have shifted from me to your happiness, and I won't be able to help but see some goodness in you, even if, and get this, even if they don't see the goodness in themselves. Have you ever met people that can't even take the goodness, and you see the beauty in them, and you're like, oh, but you're so beautiful, why do you feel down on yourself? And you can see why they see it that way, but you see it better. You know, and you're like, no, you're not a piece of shit, you're really special. I wish you got over that piece of shit thing. You know, I wish you could see you the way I see you. That discrepancy comes from the mental programming that person experiencing that other person has. So even if the other person can't stop disliking themselves, you can see why they're likable for real, you would say. For real. Yeah, and you could even see the mechanics that get them to be unhappy about themselves, and you can continue to wish that they're not. And so imagine walking around the world and reaping the rewards of that investment. The investment, I mean, is you've got this powerhouse, this incredible capacity for knowing. Like you have what Buddhists call leisure and fortune, right? You've got this fortune of a human body, this incredible mind that can analyze and think and feel and connect and concentrate, all these awesome, amazing things. Majority of other minds, let's say in the animal realm, are like jittering, about to be eaten, running away, run by instincts. Like their program is much more... we can create a gap between our programming and our reprogramming. It seems that other creatures can't. Even in the human realm, there are people whose, qualities can't help themselves. And some of us, we can have a gap between what we experience and what we choose to do next. Good fortune, you lucky bastards, to have enough leisure to come to a 3 Jewels class, to consider, ponder the possibility that I can wake up. You lucky bastards. You lucky, lucky bastards. So Buddhists say, that's running out. It's like a credit card. It's like having a really good Bitcoin account. It could dip any moment. So reinvest it before it runs out, because it's running out. Every good experience you're having, it's coming out of you. It's using up those seeds. So reinvest it. How do you reinvest it? So you create this self-perpetuating upward spiral is genuinely, which won't be at first, practice any one of those 4 practices of giving. See yourself giving people things what they want. Think, may everyone have what they want. And then for Buddhist nerdies, don't miss anyone. Don't say, here is 99.9% of humanity that I love, and there's Donald Trump. Because then your future results will be nearly everyone is happy and there's one really unhappy bastard. In your reality, there's everyone giving you bliss when you encounter them, and then you look to the right and there's like, damn, I'm so unhappy right now. Just looking at you. If you want to wake up your mind to complete bliss, don't miss a single mind stream. And that's where the force of practice comes from. It means you have to practice even with the most difficult people. Can't miss anyone out if you want your future reality to be everyone giving you bliss and abundance. And the trick there, I think, from a practitioner over time is those challenging people become the very best gift for you, because they're the ones you have to work harder at. Finding a way where your mind can have genuine compassion or love or a wish for others' happiness that maybe they don't even deserve, you think. And you're going to have to dig your mind to say, how could someone like that deserve any goodness? And that's where Buddhist studies really help you, because they give you the shortcuts of 2,500 years worth of practitioners having thought about this. But the essence is, if they only knew, these terrible people, the people you really dislike, if they only knew what they're causing for their own reality by being mean or aggressive and so on, they wouldn't do it. And so may they find that in their mind. That can be compassion for the most unlikable person. It doesn't mean you have to go be nice to people that are terrible. It means at the very least you want them to stop behaving terribly in their world, which will force them to experience all the sufferings of the terriblenesses that they've done or are doing. And then can you really hope for that? Lastly, once you get this practice, you understand that it's something you have to do. No one can do it for you to hack the normal. And one of the fastest ways to do that is to understand that everyone here is looking for happiness and avoiding unhappiness. Can you begin to invite your mind to hack that normal by wishing that upon every set of eyes that you see? Behind every set of eyes, there's a want for happiness, just like me. And in that sense, we're exactly the same. Doesn't matter age difference, doesn't matter location, doesn't matter race, gender, it doesn't matter. We're all undergoing the same things. And if we are the same, and you want happiness for you, why wouldn't you want it for the other person? I nearly called you a bastard, but I didn't, see. Wouldn't you do it for the other person? And so what's worked for me, because I don't think my mind would have known to do this at first without study. It wouldn't have kept it going without community and people that I practice with. Then I sort of became like a barnacle to 3 Joules. I feel like I'm I've been here since the opening day of 3 Joules. Yeah, I went to Australia for 9 years, came back, but I've been here since opening day, and having companions on your path to awakening, people to remind you, Hector, you're being a shithead. Like, even if they don't say it, you're like, oh, I'm being selfish. You know, like I see Spiro, for example. Spiro's volunteering at the front, and he's doing our meditation teacher training. And I see this passion for this practice. And I'm like, oh, Hector, you're getting complacent. You know, you should serve people like Spiro more. You should not take this place for granted. You inspire me. Each of you do. And so I feel like because I've been here for 25 years, I'm the slowest learner. I'm the one that has to be reminded more often. But so for me, the giving was, I give of my time and my life to this place that gave me this insight. And the point in case, that's our volunteer program. Albeit that people don't know that they're coming to volunteer to reach Buddhahood. You know, most people are interested in meditation or yoga and they come and volunteer here. But the physical reality, the online reality of 3 Joules you're experiencing is the perfection of giving. It's the practice of people who have tasted the thread of the possibility of transforming normal and hacking just a regular life that goes from birth to aging and sickness and death and a bunch of sexy time in the middle and nice meals and a little bit of travel. That's really what we're doing, right? A bunch of fights. To hack that normal, and is it possible to still use this precious human form and this incredible capacity of our minds to know and our consciousness to experience? Is it possible to run a different program? And you don't have time. We don't have time, it runs out quick. So I think of 3 Joules as the place where you perfect giving because it reminds you all the time, in the physical space created by volunteers, the online experience created by volunteers, and the teachings giving you the thing. So then you got to take it off course. You got to go use it at home with family and friends, and at work with the shitty boss. But enough practice, if you stick to it, gives you a kind of agency over your life that I wouldn't have imagined earlier. That the breath of goodness that can come from these practices have always been inside you, and it comes from releasing the me and giving it to the we. That's all I've got for you. I hope that was useful. I hope that was meaningful. I hope you practice it, some aspect of it. I have a couple of announcements, I think. Is this it? Yeah? Thank you. For those of you going or interested in a meditation retreat, February 19th to the 26th, there's just 6 spots left on the Nicaragua retreat with Earl and Sarah, who are teaching the Thursday night classes. That's still going, right? On Heart of a Warrior Saint, these bodhisattva practices. So it's just 6 spots left. The place is incredible. Nicaragua, this retreat on on a lake which is inside an extinct volcano is exquisite. It's private and it's just for us, and it's just enough. I think there's room for 16 people. 10 spots, I guess, have gone. We are doing an annual fundraiser. 3 Joules is a 501c3 non-profit. Everything we do is really to keep the place going. So if you're a member, that helps us become a member. So we can then keep giving free or by donation classes online and to places that don't normally get them. But we're doing a drive between now and the end of the year to try and raise funds to keep this place going, because it's difficult towards the end of the year. So just go on 3 Joules online and donate what you can if you're interested. You also don't have to. You can donate by volunteering, or you can just be part of the community. It's not a push. But if you can, it'd be really appreciated. If you can become a member, even better. I'm taking a pause from this training, this Tuesday classes. The next one is the last one. Yeah. So December 7th is the last time we get to hang out. So I hope to celebrate the experiences we've had together, and I won't come back until February. I'm doing a month retreat by my own to recharge. And I will be teaching on the 15th this special class, a workshop, thank you, for the fundraiser. And the workshop is about, I got to look it up, don't make fun of me. I can't remember what the workshop is about, but it will be really good. There's this bearded guy that makes terrible dad jokes, and he's all about Buddhism. Rachel, you want to remind me or not? I know you're there going, I can't believe you forgot.
How did you know I was doing that?
Because I could see in your eyes. Sitting there going,
the title of the workshop is Beyond Sex. Oh, here it is. Thanks, Aaron. Aaron put it in the chat. Something greater than sex, money, and power. Spiritual practice in 2021. I guess we should say spiritual practice in 2022, because
we should actually, yeah. Thank you. So something beyond sex, money, and power, which is good because it lets me talk about sex, money, and power. Now I have a good reason. Yay! Maybe between now and the 15th, I'll have another concert to go to. Yeah. I'm really grateful for the room that you've all created for these classes on Tuesday. Please come next Tuesday if you're interested. I'd love to see you and have an awesome week. Don't forget, it's Giving Tuesday. We'd love your money. No, we'd support 3 Joules where you can, really. Like, we've been around 25 years. We'll keep going, but it's only through people having generosity to keep this thing going. Love you, Ninon. Thank you for the heart. Thank you. Nice to see you, Alyssa, again. Thank you, Julia. Andrea, it's nice to see you. Good night, everyone. What happens is you all go offline and then we hang around and talk and eat. Not to make you jealous that the studio is awesome, but sorry, Francesca, I'm just playing. Bye, Maya. So nice to see you. And Maya. Maya, meet Maya. Steph, good night to you. Alexandria, nice to see you. It's really lovely to see. Hi, Kylie. Bye, James. Thank you, Anthony. Love to Lily. Bye, Sarah. Ruslan is there. Oh, bye, everyone. Go Pika! Bye, Daniel. Bye, Kelly. Thank you for putting this on every week. Now,